Oh, you know our boy, Christopher Nolan got a new movie? Yeah, we obviously gonna check that out. So Dunkirk is obviously Christopher Nolan's new film, and it is about the Dunkirk evacuation that occurred during the Second World War. Now I was really excited for this film because I'm a huge fan of Christopher Nolan, and come on, him directing a war movie, that immediately got my attention. And now that I've seen the film, I gotta say, damn, Christopher Nolan, he has given us another great film. I can actually see someone getting confused by Dunkirk while watching it because the way Christopher Nolan tells it, he gives us three different storylines. We're following the soldiers who are on the beach, who are trying to get the hell away from Dunkirk, and we're seeing Tom Hardy as a pilot, and we're on the sea with Mark Rylance's character who is trying to go to Dunkirk to help the soldiers. And essentially Nolan intertwines these three different storylines, and sometimes you'll see a character who's at this point, but then all of a sudden you see him at this point, you're like, wait a minute, he's right here, so how come he's here all of a sudden? And you're like, oh, okay. He gives the details right away early on in the film. Not gonna lie, there was a point where I was like, okay, what's going on? But eventually I was like, okay, it clicked in my head. I get it, what he's trying to do. And it's actually really cool. It's an unconventional way of telling the story. One of my biggest positives of the film is definitely the score by Hans Zimmer. Holy shit. Hans Zimmer does a phenomenal job with his score. The score is what helps this film be intense. Without the brilliant score by Hans Zimmer, I don't think the film would have been as intense as it is. And the cinematography by Hoyt Van, he does an excellent job with the cinematography. There's a lot of beautiful shots, and there are moments where it's like, man, you are in that situation. Like, for example, when Tom Hardy, he's a pilot, he's shooting down these warplanes, you're like, man, I'm in it. Beautifully shot. The performances from these actors are really good. One I was surprised by was Harry Styles, who's in the film. He was actually in a lot more than I was thinking he was going to be in. And he was actually pretty damn good. I'm not gonna lie. He gave a convincing performance as a soldier. Another great performance was Fionn Whitehead. I probably butchered his last name. He also gave a good performance. And there's not a lot of dialogue in this film. And there are points in the film where it's like, okay, it's essentially a silent film. So the actors gotta tell the story with their faces. And they do a great job. And Tom Hardy, he's playing a pilot and he's always wearing a mask. He does a good job. And Mark Rylance is the character in the film who speaks the most. And he was good in the film. Nolan does a great job in building tension. I was constantly on the edge of my seat throughout the entire film. Because you're like, holy shit, I don't know what's going to happen. As for negatives, I don't have too many negatives, but there are a couple of negatives. One of those negatives is that there are a couple of times where there's sometimes, like how I said, there's three storylines and they're interconnected. Sometimes they're out of order. And there were times I was like, okay. There's that scene where I got confused a little bit. And I could totally see someone saying, there's no character development at all. Why should I care for these characters? For example, there's a certain scene with this character. And I was like, man, I hope they get out of there. But at the same time, I don't know much about him. For that certain scene, it didn't work for me because I didn't really connect with that character. And there are scenes mostly in the first act that are slow. I was like, okay, it's interesting what's going on, but we could pick up the pace just a bit. I really enjoyed Dunkirk. It's definitely one of the best films of the year. And honestly, it might be Nolan's best work. Just how carefully he crafts this film. You could tell a lot of passion was put into it. And I could see someone saying, okay, look, how am I supposed to care for any of these characters in the film? The story is just so simple. There's nothing to it. Honestly, what the film is set out to try to do is putting you in the situation of each of these characters, each of them in different situations, and it's showing you the amount of difficulties they went through to try to get to their goal. And you're seeing this intense ride. What these characters was going through their heads, how they're dealing with the situations. That was the goal of Nolan. And I think he did a great job. He succeeded in that. I'm going to give Dunkirk an A-. This is definitely a film I recommend seeing. Just pay attention because there are three different storylines. So guys, that was my review for Dunkirk. What did you guys think of the film? Did you guys like it or you guys didn't like it? Please let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys for taking the time out of your day to watch my video. As always, ladies and gentlemen, have a nice day.